The Japanese Type 14 pistol, commonly referred to as the Nambu or an 8mm Nambu. So I have an example here. This is a holster. It came with the gun when I bought this at an auction. And this is, I guess, an original holster. I kind of looked it up. It's a hard shell holster. I guess this is an ammo pouch, but this has been damaged. Somebody cut this section. There's a flap that goes through and would lock in there. For some reason, that's the way it came and was damaged. There's no place for spare mag, and some of these, a later model will have a spot for a spare firing pin, because I guess the striker firing pin's broke. So let's look at the holster it comes in. And you can get repro holsters that are newly made, but I guess this one's original. So there's that, the holster. And now here we have the pistol. Now, Japanese firearms years ago were not that highly collectible, and there wasn't a lot of interest. There was some interest, people did collect them, but they're not as popular or in demand like they are now. And part of the thing about Japanese weapons, both the rifles and now the handguns, only the Japanese used these guns in these calibers. You know, not like a 9mm, which several countries have used it. They were only used with the Japanese Army, the 8mm Nambu. And I got this example years ago. I picked it up, A, to have an example of a World War II Japanese pistol, and B, you know, it's got a good bore, it was in nice shape, as a platform to reload and shoot that caliber. And that's what I've done and worked on. And also, if you're interested in shooting, that's why I'm making this video, is more, not so much a historic thing or for the information and that, but more of if you want to shoot this gun. I'm going to discuss that in the video. And also, if you're interested in how I reloaded the cartridges for this gun, now would be a good time to get a membership to my channel, because basically what I'm going to do in the future is just put out a lot of videos on reloading with low data and that will be available to members only. Okay, so might be a good idea to get a membership if you're interested in the low data on this. So the thing about these pistols, a lot of people say that the quality, the design, there's several things in the design that are a little odd and make this an awkward gun to shoot and use in combat. But as for the quality in that, it's, you know, it's a well-made gun. If you get one in good condition, there's no problems, but I've seen people go out and like shake it and have the pistol go off and all that other fun stuff. But it is different and it is fun to shoot. So let's take a quick look at it. It's kind of unusual. It has this unusual safety. It's manual safety, which goes up, down, back. If it's backwards, it's safe. If it's forward, let's see if this thing will. And it locks, when you put it on safe, it locks the bolt. So what you would do is rotate it and safe, and the bolt does not work. Also, the magazine, it has a magazine safety. You have the magazine release. I can't remember what they said they put this extra piece of sheet metal on there for, but I believe it locks into this spot in the magazine here. And also where the button is here engages like a standard mag in that little slot. I think they hold 8 rounds, and there was some criticism in the way the magazine's designed. The cartridges drag against the wall. Wears the spring out, and this can lead to problems with feeding and that. And I believe the problem I have with this weapon is it will not lock back on the last shot. And what happens is that bolt will hit this tab here, and it holds the gun open after the last shot when it's working properly. But the problem is then there's all this pressure and spring pressure on the magazine. Getting the magazine out is a pain unless, you need like 3 hands. You have to pull back on the bolt a little, press this, and then there's, it's hard to draw it out. That's one design thing. It also has this elongated trigger guard. The early models didn't. This has elongated trigger guard because the soldiers were complaining that if they had to wear gloves, they couldn't get their finger in there to shoot the pistol. Now, this particular one was made in 1944 in February. And it has the later style knurled cocking knob instead of the one with the deep grooves. Wooden grips are current. The late war ones may have been smooth. And the rear sight is basically machined, I guess, right into the receiver of the pistol. But the front sight is a blade sight, and it's in there with a dovetail so you could drip that for windage. But as is, when you line these sights up as crude as they are, this gun shoots dead on. Okay. The ergonomics are okay. I mean, to get it to function and everything is a pain, but holding it in your hand and the trigger, it fits good in the hand, it points easily. And also you will find if everything is in good condition and functioning, this gun, all you guys test these triggers out. This gun has a super light, smooth trigger. Wasn't quite in battery. This gun has a real smooth, light trigger. Striker fired weapon, which they say the striker is kind of frail. And like I said, a lot of the guys out there, very few videos on YouTube show the gun functioning quite well. There are some out there, but a lot of people have problems with this. One individual was like shaking the pistol and it went off by itself, which obviously means there's a slight problem with the internals. But it's a neat gun, and like I said, now that the demand has gone up, the price on these things are unreal. At one time you couldn't give the damn things away, and now it's crazy. But I had this for years. I decided to get my reloading project running, and I took it out and fired it. Now this gun I'd say is in about 90% condition. I mean, it has some blemishes on the bluing, but mechanically and that, everything is good, new. I don't think it was actually fired much. The bore is really good on it. And I'm just gonna go out and shoot it. And the reason I'm making this video is kind of to give you an overview of what I got and my experiences in the limited experience I have in shooting this gun. I've gotten some fairly decent results. And we're gonna go out here and do a little bit more shooting, and I'll make a couple videos of taking this out to the range and discuss any other idiosyncrasies or problems as we go. All right, guys, stay tuned.